New Year's. The time of year where people who don't have goals do the same thing they did last year. The people who think they have goals go until March, but then it ends like a Netflix subscription after the binge watching has ended and the cheer stops. Or the very few, and hopefully my audience, the people who stick through it, the people who grind every step of the way till the end of the year. If that's you, hey, glad you joined me today. This is the Drew's Way, aka Drew. Let's get into this. Now, if you're new here, you probably don't know me that much, but if you've seen a few of my other videos, you might be asking yourself, why are you making a COD commentary? And the reason is simple, because I can. The purpose of the channel is hopefully to bring you guys on this fun journey of mine and to kind of educate you guys on my experiences and how to go about yourself in the world. Now, you might be asking yourself, why should I listen to a random guy on the internet? And the answer is simple. It's up to you. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you to watch me or not, but I'll let you know a little bit about me. In short, I have some skin in the game. I'm in my mid-20s. I have my commercial pilot license. I have a construction business I've been running for 2 years. And I love going to the gym and investing in the stock market. And I'm here today because I'm an entrepreneur. I've always kind of wanted to make content since, honestly, before I could really remember. And today I finally get to do that. I'm really happy because I was influenced by one other guy. You probably know him if you're watching this video. Why learn? Okay. Now you know a little bit about me, let's get into this video. Here's my top 5 ways to get ahead in the year of 2026. Number 1, simply just learn. Now I know what you're thinking. I want to get that high paying job. I just want to survive. And that's honestly part of the problem. A lot of people try to survive instead of just trying to make more. And I know it sounds counterintuitive because you think, hey, well, if I want to make more money, then I just get another job to make a little bit more money. But that's the problem. If you make a little bit more money, you're just evading the inevitable, and that is a ship that is gonna sink soon. My plan is just keep on learning and keep on growing, finding ways to make more money, but also learning more things about myself, not just picking up another job. And the reason is because jobs come and go, but the skills you build early in your career, especially in your 20s, compound later in life immensely. Another layer to this that often goes unnoticed is setting your ego aside and learning from somebody who knows more than you. I mean, we all know that person that is a know-it-all, but is really kind of like the class clown because he's making a fool of himself. Don't be that person. Just own up to it that you don't know everything, and that's okay. That's where learning starts. You can't learn anything new if you think you know everything, and honestly, that just makes you a fool. I've learned this countless times through aviation and just business in general. If you don't learn something, eventually life will make you learn it because you won't move forward if all you do is just stay stagnant. My advice to everybody is get after it. Start the year with discipline. Discipline isn't doing things that you love, it's doing things you don't like. One of my favorite quotes from Alex Hormozy. Number 2, build systems that help you complete tasks. We live in a time period where I would think it's never been easier to build your own system, and I mean by simply using AI. Now, I incorporate this into my day by making schedules for myself, what I need to do and what I don't need to do, the important tasks, the least important tasks, and by doing this, I get the important tasks done, and if I don't have any room for anything else, well, at least I know that I got the important tasks done. Another way you can use this is for fitness, for eating healthy, honestly, everyday tasks. It could be for your business, it could be for anything that you have. Honestly, use AI. It is a tool that is not going away. Time is precious, so why not get after it sooner? Elon Musk has this favorite saying, and what he said is he likes dedicating a time to complete each task. He makes a system, and that way he gets the task done. He says, people who set out time to be able to accomplish something will complete it in that time period rather than somebody who just sets it off to the next day and has no system. Don't be like that person. Set a reasonable schedule and get that task done. For me, I've struggled with this, and if you let it keep on happening, it'll just continuously happen. And by stopping it, just make a system and make sure that it gets done. Number 3, I just want to get uncomfortable. And I know that sounds weird, But and honestly, when you're the most uncomfortable, that's where growth happens. And it took me a long time to figure that out until I just said, you know what? Screw it. I have faith in God, and I'm going to keep on working. And if I fail, well, I get back up and I learn. And a lot of people, they fail and they just give up. Just put yourself in uncomfortable situations and it'll help you grow, and it'll help you realize that, well, I might have been taken down in that situation, but I've risen up from harder situations, so I'm going to keep on going. You know what I mean? Being uncomfortable makes you much stronger than the person who's weak, the guy who just gives up and then just moves on the next thing. Me, I failed several times in my life, and honestly, I've succeeded a lot of times in my life as well. So it's kind of counterbalanced itself. But I would not be the person I am today, even making this video, like education wise. I would not be this person if I didn't fail. Because if I didn't fail, I would probably just be living a comfortable life. And if you're living comfortable, then you won't want to grow. An example of that for me was early on after I graduated high school. I got in a relationship with this woman that I thought would be, forever. And turned out she was actually really crazy. Now, that was a long time ago, but you get the point. God helped me realize the bad people in my life, and he took them out of it. It was uncomfortable then, but I grew into a stronger person after. Same thing with a lot of men, especially you if you're watching this. That will happen. Even if it's not that, it'll be the job that you really want that you just don't get hired from. Are you going to just let yourself get down, or are you going to man up and take the hits? At the end of the day, being uncomfortable puts you in situations 99% of people probably don't want to be in, and 99% aren't in the top 1%. So do you want to be part of the 99%, or do you want to be in the 1% that takes chances, that fails, but eventually, you only got to win once, right? I'm picking up where I left off, honestly. Last year, I invested the most amount of money I've ever invested before. I invested about $60,000 in the stock market last year. And that's not counting Roth IRA, tax advantage accounts, and that's not counting the gold that I invested in, and probably a few other things as well. I say a few other things because there's a few things that I can improve on. And it leads me to my number 4, improving the little things. Now, as I said before, you want to get uncomfortable, but also you want to improve the little things that are holding you back. For me, that is honestly just counting up the receipts. Where is all my money going? A lot of Americans don't know how much money they have. They don't know their net worth. They don't know where their money is at. And that is a big problem, especially because I have big goals. And for this year, I'm looking to expand my goals, and I want to expand my horizon. And the way to do that is simply by just figuring out, how much am I worth? Where is my money going? And how much time am I wasting by spending on useless stuff I don't need? I'm not going to be that person that says don't waste your money on a nice coffee every once in a while. Now, for me, I'm not a coffee guy, but I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I like myself a nice chocolate milk. So
this right here,
if you want to get that chocolate milk every once in a while, go for
chocolate
it.
milk.
But don't make it a habit for every day. For me, I remember getting hot chocolate almost every morning before school with my dad. It was honestly pretty awesome, but now just looking back at it, how much money we would have saved? About $830 a year just on hot chocolate. Keep in mind, those were the prices several years ago. It's probably even more now. As I just talked about, the little things that stack up. But you know what also stacks up? Your time. So my 5th and final thing is, where's my time going? Because my time matters. Now, I feel like a lot of people deal with this, especially around the holidays, where family really comes into play. You got people wanting to go to the pumpkin patch. You got people wanting to do other things. You got your friends wanting to invite you to do things that, sound fun, but is it really worth your time? And you really have to ask yourself this, because time is precious. Like I said, your 20s are very important. So if you're wasting it partying and doing things that you shouldn't be doing, you're really just wasting prime years of your life. And the reason I say prime years is because this is probably the least amount of responsibility you'll probably ever have in your life. So enjoy it while you have it. I'm not here saying that you shouldn't go have fun every once in a while, but just really think where your time is needed. Is it with your friends at the club, spending money that is not going back in your pocket, time wasted? Or is a time that you're spending grinding, focusing on your future? You really got to ask yourself these questions in your 20s. For me personally, this was really hard for me because, I was usually the person that would kind of do my own thing for a while, and then every once in a while I'll just get hit up by like my friends, and then family members would come up. Even, I'm not gonna lie, my sister, she would want me to go, probably take her to see a movie with her friend. And sometimes I have to ask myself, do I have time for it? Is it worth it? And if yes, then do it. But if it's just going to take time that, is probably better needed elsewhere, then maybe make reservations for another time. And if they can't understand that, then that's on them. I want to wrap up this video, but I'm going to try to implement all of these into my life. And I've already implemented a lot of them already, but I'm going to try to expand on them even more. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. It honestly took a while to make, but I'll keep on making more. If you guys like it, please give me a like and subscribe. I love responding to comments, so leave me a comment how your year's going, what you think that you need to do to make this year better than last year. And as always, this is the Drew's Way signing out. Peace.